evening and welcome to this edition of News Leader on 6. Today is Tuesday, February the 16th, 2021. I'm Jim Fuller. In tonight's news, we speak with Tullahoma Fire Chief Richard Chastain about staying safe during the freezing weather. COVID-19 vaccination locations are expanding, and the Isaiah 117 group is trying to spread the love during February. We'll have these stories and more on tonight's News Leader on 6.
Now open in Tullahoma, Parkview Senior Living, a luxurious retirement community designed for active seniors. Choose an apartment home that's truly inspired and have peace of mind knowing our caring and friendly staff is dedicated to your safety and well-being. We offer an abundance of amenities and services, and you're not required to buy in or be locked into anything. Call us today to learn more about our new Tullahoma location.
So you've been meaning to do something healthy, commune with nature, get outdoors and meet new people. We have the perfect solution. Come hike with us. You can find a Tennessee Trails Association chapter near you, including Clarksville, Columbia Franklin, Highland Rim, Jackson, Knoxville, Oak Ridge, Memphis, Murfreesboro, Nashville, Plateau at Crossville, and Upper Cumberland. We're on the web at TennesseeTrails.org. It's fun, it's stress-free, and it's good for you. See you on the trails.
The individuals with dementia, those with Parkinson's, those that have maybe mobility issues, need caregivers. Well, those caregivers are 24 hours a day at home, and they never get a rest. And if they have to go to work, they're kind of out of luck. So that's why Trinity came into existence 25 years ago, to allow the caregivers to have a safe center where they could put their loved ones, know they would be well cared for, stimulated, fed good nutritious meals, have activities to their level, and then the caregiver can stop by and pick them up and go on home and have some continuity into their life.
Welcome back. In tonight's top story, news leaders John Gray spoke with Tullahoma Fire Chief Richard Chastain about the ice storm that hit the area yesterday, the first responders that have been working nonstop, and how to stay safe until things warm up.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here with Chief Richard Chastain, and we've had a day of a lot of work going on, Chief. A lot of people, it's funny, it's not funny, funny, but it's interesting how the term first responder changes a little bit because of the utility workers that are involved in what's going on now, and that's water, gas, electric. You in the fire department, the police department, you know, with a storm like we've had and things start breaking down, it takes everybody to jump in and keep everything operating. And we just like to get a report from you how you think things have gone, what's going on, and how we're progressing.
Well, John, thank you. We've all been working for the last couple of days. We started preparing for this because we felt pretty sure that it was coming. So we started preparing over the weekend, getting all of our equipment, checked out, fueled up. And I'm not talking about just fire department. I'm talking public works, police department, extra personnel, get them lined up to be in, making sure we're ready when it hits.
Right.
And of course, the first responder starts at the 911 center, because that's what everybody calls. Anytime something like this happens, they start dialing 911, and the dispatcher has to decide who to send to each call. We've got power companies here today from Shelbyville and Winchester helping Tullahoma Utilities. I know David Johnson, he's the supervisor over the line, and he's been out all night.
I'm sure he has.
Coordinating, orchestrating the repairs, keeping everybody safe during the repairs. Our guys have been out, and girls, with Public Works clearing the roads so that the utility guys can get to the lines that are down, and so that ambulances can make their way through town. We've got extra personnel on the ambulances.
Right.
We've got police officers. Even Sergeant Cody Brandon has a chainsaw, a police officer.
Yeah.
Out here cutting limbs. So it takes a team, and Tullahoma's blessed with all the departments that work side by side together.
Right.
I've never seen a hiccup. They just get it done.
Well, what we as citizens need to do also is remember our neighbors. somebody that has no power, very possibly has no heat, and a lot of your older people can't get out, can't get away from those situations. Check on each other. That's what we're supposed to do in a small place like this, is love one another and go out and find out who we can help. If we've got power and physically able to help somebody else, make sure you do that.
Absolutely. Just be cautious. Check on your neighbors. There are going to be some extended power outages. There's some pretty significant damage. Tullahoma's a beautiful tree city,
yeah.
But when something like this happens, we were out on Highway 55 last night removing a tree, and another tree fell just really close to us, and we actually had one small tree fall on the side of a police car while they were out working a situation. So just watch yourself if you're
right.
out. Even today, tonight, and tomorrow, as this continues to freeze, the limbs are going to continue to fall. So just watch yourself if you're outside. Check on your neighbors. Work together.
All right. Well, Chief, I know you've got things to do. We appreciate you coming in and giving us this report, and you be safe out there, and thank your people from us and everybody in this town for the job that you folks do.
Yes, sir.
We
Thank you.
appreciate you.
Thank you.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
We'll be right back in a moment with more news after these messages.
You made the time and the sacrifice to broaden their horizons, to see their smiles, but mostly to make lifelong memories. We think it's time to do it again, just the two of you. Don't let illness or injury slow you down. The rehab team at Life Care Center of Tullahoma is ready to help you live well.
This is the face of a fighter.
I'm fighting to keep Tennesseans working.
I'm fighting for time with my friends.
I'm fighting for football on Saturday.
I'm fighting to see my students back in the classroom.
We're fighting for our small business.
I'm fighting to keep my family safe.
Whatever you're fighting for, it's time for all Tennesseans to fight back. Until there's a vaccine for COVID-19, this is the face of a fighter. Face it, masks fight COVID-19.
Here at Manchester Funeral Home, we know the importance of living and working in our local community because it's those families who we serve during their time of need honorably. We believe in supporting local business and offer only 100% Batesville caskets, the best in the industry and a driver of our local economy. If you want straightforward and fair pricing while working with the people you know, choose Manchester Funeral Home, serving your community since 1932. And pre-planning and pre-funding can be the best gift you ever leave your loved ones. Call us to pre-arrange. Manchester Funeral Home. Our family, caring for your family since 1932.
Welcome back. Tennessee saw the expansion of access to COVID-19 vaccinations with the launch of a new federal retail pharmacy program on February the 12th, with select pharmacies offering vaccinations in accordance with state's COVID-19 vaccination plan. These vaccinations will be provided at no cost to patients and will be available by appointment only. Tennessee Health Commissioner Lisa Piercy said, quote, "We continue to advocate for Tennesseans by maximizing every dose of COVID-19 vaccine made available for people in our state. We are eager to collaborate with our federal partners to expand access to this vital resource for Tennesseans in the communities where they live and work," end quote. In addition to the almost 400 vaccination sites currently offered by county health departments, hospitals, federally qualified and faith-based health centers, and community pharmacies, Tennesseans eligible to receive COVID-19 vaccinations per Tennessee's COVID-19 vaccination plan will have access to vaccinations at additional pharmacies across the state through this new program. The Federal Retail Pharmacy Program for COVID-19 vaccination is a public-private partnership with national pharmacy partners and networks of independent pharmacies. As of February the 11th, Tennessee Department of Health has been notified of 121 Walmart pharmacy locations across Tennessee that will offer COVID-19 vaccinations through this program. These pharmacies will follow the vaccination plan phasing of the counties in which they are located. For details on participating locations and to schedule an appointment online, visit walmart.com/COVID vaccine. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention work with states to select individual pharmacy partners based on several factors, including their ability to reach some of the population most at risk for severe illness from COVID-19. A total of 1 million total doses of Moderna vaccine are being provided for the first week of the program nationwide, and additional doses will be allocated to the program weekly based on the available supply of COVID-19 vaccines. Vaccine allocations provided for this program are in addition to the weekly allocations going to states and may initially be limited in quantity. More information is available at cdc.gov websites. Tennesseans can learn what phase of the state's COVID-19 vaccination plan they're in at covid19.tn.gov website. In another story, House Bill 16, also known as the Teachers Discipline Act, began moving through state government committees last week. The House of Representatives unanimously approved the legislation 91-0 last June. However, the bill did not come to a vote in the Senate chamber due to the pandemic. The legislation establishes a process for local school districts to enable teachers to remove a student who causes repeated disruptions. Once the disruptive student is disciplined, principals could use their discretion to send them back to the classroom or permanently remove the child. The bill also allows teachers to file an appeal with a school's director or local superintendent if they disagree with that decision. The bill prohibits retaliation against a teacher for submitting a request for a student's removal from the teacher's classroom or appealing a denial of any such request. If a teacher abuses or overuses the student removal process, then the principal or the principal's designee must address the abuse or overuse with the teacher. The bill is expected to pass again this session. We'll be right back in a moment with more News Leader on 6.
It's not invoice. It's not MSRP. It's not Christmas Day, although it may feel like it. It's the lowest prices in Middle Tennessee, period. Get to Stan McNabb Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram or Stan McNabb Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac before these prices are gone forever.
All right, the cat's out of the bag at Carroll Street Liquor in Tullahoma. Now you know where to go if you're planning a get-together and want the ideal wine or spirit. Party planning can be stressful, but at Carroll Street Liquor you'll find everything you need. Mixers, gift sets, and all of your favorite spirit brands. So if you're feeling the pressure to pull off the ideal party, come to Carroll Street Liquor and select among the seemingly endless supply of wines, spirits, gift sets, and more. Your perfect party, it's in the bag with Carroll Street Liquors.
Welcome back. Peggy Burton spoke with Susan Johnson of the Isaiah 117 organization about their new program called Spread the Love.
We're doing something I think is pretty exciting. So for the month of February, it's called Spread the Love. And so people can go online to you can go to Facebook or you can go to Isaiah117else.com.
Okay.
And you can nominate somebody and they've got the picture on the screen.
I love that.
So we're going to go out at night. We got volunteers doing this. So when someone gets nominated, we have volunteers that go out and they deck their heart out in hearts and they wake up and they get to see all of that the next morning and bring some cheer.
Sure it does.
It does.
So have you done several already?
We have. We actually started a week early. We got our signs in and so I thought this might be a good time to kind of
let people see. You got excited about it?
I did. Yeah. And so we even reached out into another county. They had a child that needed some cheer, was going through some chemo treatment. Didn't even think about that.
Right.
And so the parents and the family were really excited to wake up and see that.
Right. Just a moment of happiness mid such turmoil.
It is, and a lot of people are doing it anonymously. They don't want anybody to know, so it's kind of neat. You wake up and you're thinking, who did this for me?
Who did this? Yeah.
Who wanted to spread love to me? So.
How long have you been with Isaiah 117?
I've been with it since actually we kicked off here for Coffee Franklin and Grundy. I heard the founder speak in March of 2019. And I didn't know what happened to children when they were removed by the Department of Children's Services.
This would be a good time to tell the people that aren't familiar with Isaiah 117 just exactly what it is you all do.
And so what it does is it provides care for children who are awaiting foster placement. It's that transitional place for children once they're removed until they go to their foster placement. So the system is that when a child's removed, they go to the Department of Children's Service office or a conference room, and in Grundy County, sometimes our county jail.
Where they stay overnight or until they're placed?
Well, at the county jail, they won't let them sleep there. If they see the wait's going to be a while, they'll drive them off the mountain to the DCS office in Franklin County. But they do sleep at the Department of Children's Service offices sometimes. That wait could be 6 hours and it could be 3 days.
Oh, wow.
It just depends on how hard it is to find a placement. So the great thing is we're working to build our house, as I was telling you.
Good.
Today, I'm excited. They started framing.
How big is it going to be? I mean, will it hold several?
It will. It's actually about a 2,800 square foot house.
Wonderful.
It has a visitation space on it as well. So once families have earned that right, DCS will get to decide who uses that space, and they'll get to meet with their children in a space that looks like a home, not McDonald's.
Not McDonald's.
Or the park or something like that.
Outside the jail.
Yes. So we're excited about that addition to it. And also it has an upstairs area that's about 800 square feet. And it's just a great storage area. So we will have it stocked for what the kids need when they come in.
With food and with school supplies maybe and clothes.
Yes.
That's awesome.
It is, because currently when these children are removed, it's bad enough that they're sitting in that office where they've lost their homes and their families.
And they're scared.
They are. They're scared. A lot of times they're tired, they're dirty, they're hungry.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you don't know what they've been exposed to. And they're sitting in, sorry DCS, but it's a kind of a dingy, just dreary office. There's not any windows. They're listening to phones. They're listening to fax machines, conversations.
It's got to be traumatizing.
It does, and they're listening to placement calls, So DCS is trying to find placement while they're trying to supervise those kids and meet their needs. And they do the best job they can, but that child is listening to those conversations.
And knowing what's going on.
And they know that, oh, yeah, you can't take me. Okay, somebody else can't take me. And so when they're removed, a lot of times they don't get to take anything with them. Or if they do, it's in a black trash bag.
Oh.
And that says a lot, a black trash bag. I went into Walmart one day buying supplies for some children that had been removed. And when the lady looked at my tax exempt, she said, well, what is that? And when I told her, she said, can I make a suggestion to you? And I said, yes, ma'am. She said, don't give them a black trash bag. Or if you do, give them several. Because when they're moved from place to place, their blank's going to break and they're going to need a new one.
Yeah.
And she was probably in her 20s. And then she looked at me and said, I'm speaking from a memory. I was that kid.
Aww.
And I said, well, that's what we're changing. They're getting nice duffel bags and backpacks and suitcases. That black trash bag's going away. And that's the great thing at the Isaiah House. It's going to be stocked so that we can give the kids what they need.
To get the Hearts in Your Yard, you go to this website and donate.
You can go to Isaiah117house.com and you'll click on events, and Spread the Love will be there. And it's $50. You can actually do more than 1 yard. There's a way to do more than one person. It'll ask, if you want a message. I've had some people that did want it to say something, so they can put who it's from or a message to them.
That's a cool idea.
It is.
Really
and some people have requested a certain day. And so, for somebody's birthday. So we're going to honor that as best we can so that we can get it that day. And they can go to our Facebook page as well, and you can see the pictures, Isaiah 117 House, Coffee, Franklin, and Grundy Facebook page, and you'll be able, there's a link there that'll take you directly to the form, so they can go there, and you can see all the pictures of the yards that we've already been decorating.
We'll be right back with more news later.
When your family suffers the loss of a loved one, the caring and compassionate staff at Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel are standing by to assist you in every way possible. We are proud to support local industry and offer only Batesville caskets. Many funeral homes don't own or operate a crematory. We utilize the only crematory in Coffee County. Your loved one never leaves Coffee County. We can accommodate any need and any budget. Consider our complete pre-need service to remove this burden from your family during their time of grief. Lock in today's low costs and protect from inflation. Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel. Our family caring for your family.
Many Tennesseans are wondering, do masks really fight the spread of COVID-19? A recent study shows they do. 2 hairstylists worked for several days with respiratory symptoms and serviced patrons in close contact. Both stylists later tested positive for COVID-19. 139 clients were exposed to coronavirus after being in direct contact. Both stylists and their customers opted to wear masks. No COVID-19 symptoms were identified among the 139 exposed clients or their secondary contacts. Out of the clients that were tested, all tested negative for COVID-19. Face it, masks fight COVID-19.
Welcome back. Tullahoma Pastor Elmore Tolbert recently spoke with news leaders John Gray about Black History Month and recently passed away Tullahoma historian Peggy Northcutt.
It is Black History Month, and I have my buddy Elmore Tolbert here with me today, and I always enjoy Elmore coming in. We have some great conversation, and we were just talking about how Miss Peggy used to come in, and I told Elmore she was like an 8th grade English teacher. She loved you, but she'd put a ruler to your hand if you needed it. Miss Peggy used to keep me straight.
Peggy Northcutt, the late Peggy Northcutt, who we just memorialized approximately, about 8 months ago.
Right.
Oh, the love of my life, just my heart. Member of my church. She was Sunday school teacher at the church, but she was also my pastor.
Right.
So as I pastored the church, she pastored me.
Right.
We had a great relationship. We laughed, talked often, and she would get on to me, and she didn't swing and hit me with a ruler. She would swing and hit me with that fist, and she was heavy-handed. Just appreciate her, love her so much.
Yeah,
and,
miss her. We all miss her
on a daily. Yeah, I talk to her daughters, Angela and Michelle. I talk to them often, and they even tune into our webcast because we're not in church full yet.
Right. But very few are.
But I miss them. Miss her tremendously. She was one of those people who was a proponent for history. And
she was the historian, one of the historians for the history of this town.
Really? Yeah, she was. And she kept the history for our church.
Right.
She had in her home, she had boxes with information she had written, and it was stacked up probably about as high as her shoulder, and she could just reach over and grab any of that information at any given time, and she could tell you what happened during the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, even into the 2000s. She recorded everything. She told me how many times I embarrassed her in front of the congregation, and she would give me that number on a regular. She'd say, "You embarrassed me over 33 times," and she'd name off number 17, and I'd be like, "You really counted this?" Oh, Peggy was she was my dear heart. She was my dear heart.
In watching, I'm a great watcher of the History Channel.
Okay.
Because I like history.
Yeah.
And a lot of these shows now that are on there, they're hunting for something.
They are.
They're hunting for gold, or they're hunting for this, or they're hunting for that. They're hunting for aliens. They're hunting for all kinds of stuff. And in a lot of situations, it's a person just like Miss Peggy that these folks who have all the resources in the world, and they're going to all these universities and all these scientists and people of great knowledge are regurgitating on the issue, and they find the answer in a small box in a house just like Miss Peggy's.
True.
Where an individual who is a real historian and searches beyond what education and science tells you is fact and finds the real facts. That's where the answers come from.
Yes.
And we were fortunate in this town to have a lady like that tutor us for years. For a minute, tutor us. Well, she did. She tutored all of us.
Yeah.
And it was, and I think quite well, and it was quite well accepted too.
Yeah, it was.
She was revered in this town by just everyone in this town.
She force-fed us. I don't know if that's the same thing as tutoring, but
depends on how hard the tutoring.
Yeah, but I would definitely like to just give a shout out to Peggy Northcutt.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about Black History Month. There is no other Black historian.
She was Black history.
She was Black history in this area.
Yeah, she was. But not only that, she was a proponent for education, and I think that that's one of the major pieces that we often skirt over or we miss out on in Black history, because education was a major piece of Black history. Actually, when Carter G. Woodson brought it to note in 1922, 1923, at a meeting in Nashville, Tennessee, Carter G. Woodson was saying, hey, we need to celebrate a week. You need to set aside a week so that we can pay tribute to those who have contributed not only to society but to education. And that's where Black History Week began. And then when he was asked to commission it, and it came to be part of the government standing behind it, he chose February, not because it was the shortest month or because it wouldn't get much notoriety, but because two of his favorite persons were born in the month of February. So he chose that month.
And who were those? Those were
Abraham Lincoln was one, because he freed slaves. And then the other one was, Lord, you put me on the spot.
That's
and
okay.
I would have had it.
That's all right.
He did that in February for that particular reason.
Yeah, very
and
good.
so that's where we get
Very
Black
good.
History Month in February.
And don't forget to tune into this week's Living Show tonight at 6:30 p.m., Thursday morning at 9 a.m., and Thursday, Friday, and Saturday evening at 6:30 p.m. This week's guests include author Rick Bella and musicians Jim and Inga Wood. We'll have all that and more on this week's Living. We'll be right back in just a moment with your weather forecast.
Now open in Tullahoma, Parkview Senior Living, a luxurious retirement community designed for active seniors. Choose an apartment home that's truly inspired and have peace of mind knowing our caring and friendly staff is dedicated to your safety and well-being. We offer an abundance of amenities and services, and you're not required to buy in or be locked into anything. Call us today to learn more about our new Tullahoma location.
We're losing it, Doctor.
Not on my shift. Quickly, brush. Roller.
What a transformation. It's going to be okay.
Okay, nothing.
At Paintworks of Tullahoma, we specialize in domestic emergencies with Martin Senior Paints. You can be the paint doctor, too, when you treat your home with Martin Senior interior and exterior finishes.
Doctor, we've got another one.
Got you covered.
Paintworks of Tullahoma. Come see the paint doctor, Stat.
Welcome back. We'll take a look at your weather forecast at this time, starting with your weather history on this day. Our record high was in 1961 at 73 degrees. The record low was in 1905 at -9 degrees. Average high on this day is 52 and the average low is 31. Mostly cloudy weather in the forecast tonight with a low of a chilly 16. Wednesday morning, expect rain in your forecast with a high of 41 and a low of 33. Thursday will bring more showers to the area with a high of 39 and a low of 17. And that's our News Leader report for this evening. We invite you to join us each Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 6, 8, and 10 for News Leader on 6. You have a good evening.